So I'm going to run the 15-minute chart in Strategy Tester. And you can do this at home, and this is better than even, I guess it's forward testing. I'm just going to call out the trades here the way I see the market as it's coming at me. I kind of have to wait for, I have to be careful and run tight stops, and if I see that the market starts to really move in one direction out of the current range, because we only have so much history in the beginning of the playback of the market. So, later on, should the market start to move hard in one direction, up or down, and you're just like, this is just on a nonstop rip. Now, 20% of the market's going to just keep going and going. And I mean, these are, on the monthly, it may just be a sheared up candle, a mind-blowing candle, but inside the 2 months of rally, two very bullish candles out of nothing going on. In the world that lives inside of there has probably, 8 triangles on the dailies, if you count a triangle as I do on a trend line. So I do, we talked a lot about stuff here with indicators, and there was a discussion of adaptive moving averages. So the ultimate adaptive moving average, which is kind of like an old school clunky one to me, which seems to be the best because it's so objective. Everybody has to draw the trend line at the same point. I wonder if you could get a robot to do it, but I don't think so. Some people say it's possible, but I don't think so. So I'm going to, by hand on the 15, draw trend lines and trade pretty heavy in my mind on that chart, because we were trading NASDAQ on Friday, and if I only had scripts that were custom written for a market that moves that large, then I could have really done well. Plus, I didn't have any sell at the market or buy at the markets because I could see stuff that was setting up, and these guys are on 5-second charts, because the depth of the market, as far as resolution, I think it's a 7-decimal broker. It'd be like if Forex had a 7th decimal, and the contract size, you were forced to trade standard lots, almost in essence, or maybe it's like 20K on a ticket, 10Ks. Imagine you're trading 10Ks on the euro. Everything's at 10K, or now you pull the trigger 3 times, at 30K, boom, you're and that's how you have to trade the euro to kind of compare it psychologically to the at least on Hugo's Way platform. If you're going to go in here with this fixed spread of $1.12 and trade the NASDAQ 100, which was very exciting, but when I traded the demo, people say, well, it's not like real money. Yes and no. It can be worse, actually, because now it's like, are you right or wrong? And you can take all the risks that you can run, all the ideas that you thought, well, this will be profitable. You run it at a demo, and it's kind of an insult to your creative ego of your brain that says, oh, this is going to be a great, wait till they see this, Now, I do have these thoughts, and everybody stumbles across their little speck of truth that is their own personal holy grail. Hey, this, I noticed if I do this, regardless of what you've heard about in any books or anything, and you're tuned into your own in trading, your kind of weaknesses are going to be immediately revealed. It's like if you decide you're going to join a martial arts, which I did. I actually went into martial arts so I could make more money trading, because I thought, well, if I just have this warrior, the warrior kind of idea, but that's for life too, right? So to survive the dramas of life, and people might sue you out of nowhere, you have nothing to do something, or you find yourself in a bad relationship, or you have imagine trying to trade your way out of that, right? So you're going to go trading, and you're thinking, wow, this is, if you've watched these movies, which was funny because this kind of virtue signaling stuff, if you really think about it, it's completely not helping your trading, I suppose. So you think about you're kind of taking money away from, you're making money from people that don't know how to trade in a sense. Though the smart money, you're kind of taking advantage of dumb people. So it's kind of funny. It's not a lot of woke traders out there, I guess, that are willing to get buy into the trap. So the market's bullish and everybody's bullish and everybody, it's going up and up and up, and you're like the last guy to buy there because you're like, yeah, I guess it really is going to happen. And I don't know if we're there now, but it's very much like we just made record highs into the stock market, and I'm gonna put up the trend line here on the S&P 500. I was just looking at this, and just good old trend line work. I'm gonna get to this 15-minute robot in a second, but they're playing back the market. But I was just thinking how this trend line really is the old clunky. And inside closing prices, not on the wicks, because the wicks are just. We don't know when the wick was established, but we know if we're going to trade frame by frame on a daily chart, it's day by day. And I really feel like the indicator is, throwing indicators on to filter stuff is missing the story that creates price movement, So I don't want to be too philosophical about it, but it's just the market's pretty damn raw. I'm missing reduce this a little bit. This chart is. Got to go back to my charts. Get out strategy tester. Okay, I was looking at. Let me retile everything here. Unfortunately, we have to retile these robots I just launched. But I like this trend line stuff. It's hard work on the 15, but like on the daily, we're just in a parabolic climax. I don't even know what to say. Now, if it keeps going up, that is possible. But the S&P 500 here is just mind blowing. The trend line, to me. You can't fuck this up. Here is a mountaintop. I could get kids to do this in a second. You got a top, find another top, connect the line. We're going to break that trend line before we break this one. Now, a lot of people would draw a trend line like this, and I got it. It breaks that just as well, but you're getting in. This is a momentum trend line. This is a tick bar trend line. This takes every tick into account. I can draw a trend line on closing prices right like this. I see so many people do the trend line like this. This has momentum. That is closing prices down, down, down. You want to buy that. You just have to keep selling yourself. When it's down hard, get your wallet out and get the fuck in that trade, because not to mention the market makers got the buy limits, iceberg orders down here. They're picking up this. By the way, this is a 500 pip grid I'm running. So this is $50. That's $100 risk. That wick on a 1K, $100. Just that. Well, that's a weekly chart, right? I'm sorry, it's a monthly chart. So in that month, what lives inside that wick, how about what lives inside of this wick is just incredible too. Fractally, there's a bunch of zigzags inside these wicks. Yeah, so I kind of was up all night here. A little like Joe Biden here trying to find my... But look at this fucking wick. Now this is the Corona wick, right? What a mind blower, huh? Seriously, this is just astounding. Now this is where the guy that has a pending here, it would be cute to hear somebody say something to you like, when you trade this style, they're like, dude, can't you see? Now here's a prime example of a trend line break on closing prices. And just before Corona, it's funny how, notice the timing of this situation. A lot of trend traders, this is the confirmation entry, by the way, if you're a trend line trader. When the market, you draw this, this is just, I don't care how many bars out it is. This trend line drawing shit is just so clean. You can't fuck it up. Now here's the trend line break here. Little bit of a scalp, right? Here's the steepest trend line you can draw, is the fucking rate of change on close. So you could draw it like this. This is the monthly chart. I'm sure there's inside there on the dailies. This is the rate of change here. Then the rate of change changes like this. Now we have this constantly adaptive trend line. Breaks here. Doesn't go to hell. And you can just drag this over the next. Now here is almost a perfect trend, right? We've got the confirmation guys are going to get in here. Now this is a monthly chart, by the way. But the monthly data is the smoothest. You want to smooth out data. If you're going to do the trend line as opposed, now this is a purely adaptive moving average. As soon as the market makes this bottom, you can draw that trend line. And you could ride that. And you don't have to, because if you're using a 50 turns into a 21, these are adaptive moving averages in a manual creation. And look at how it's just, we keep getting these amazing run-ups. Now, I just got to ask everybody out there. I know everybody's probably making money in the stock market, but where in the wild world of sports have you ever fucking seen something go this parabolic? And sure, it could keep nudging up here, but something's wrong. I mean, I guess the markets are inflated. Bitcoin's so expensive that, but you can still get some things cheap. And I know people piss and moan about this and that, but dude, I can buy fucking, only because I used to spend, so I had this compact portable 3 that I bought for $500. It's like $2,000 or something. $2,000, $2,500. It was a 286. I talk about this. My first trading computer with a floppy drive, and how about I want to say, gosh, well, it was bigger than a 20 meg hard drive. I'm going to say it was, I don't have to look it up now, but it wasn't even a gigabyte. Maybe it was 1 gig. No, fuck. Yeah, it was 1 gig. So, because you can go to Walmart right now and get for, I think, $20 or $50, you can get like 128 pretty fast flash drive that it's just incredible. So that is cheap. You're living in a very luxurious lifestyle. I mean, people are living better than they've ever lived, and they can afford to piss and moan about racism and just dumb fucking shit all day long, right? Oh gosh, I don't know. My battery died on my phone. I'm gonna have to take a Xanax. Okay, dude. So, but what's going on here with the market, right? Dude, I don't know. This is kind of crazyville. And I don't have all the history of the stock market here. But for the love of Pete, right? What in the wild world of sports? I just can't believe it. On the weeklies, the trend line is going to be, there's more trades on the weekly. So you see, if you got this trend line and you're looking to do this scalp, you're like, okay, what is the kind of typical length of a trend? You could actually say my rate of change is this. I'm looking for markets that, and you can just pick this rate of change. The other thing I did in a couple of videos was I say, well, how many pips a year are you trying to make? Right? This is a yearly. Well, I'm looking to make this. So you can see, well, could I have made that? If I bought at the beginning of the year and sold the end of the year, yeah, you can make that. This year, not so much. This year, yeah, pretty good, right? Change, right? This year, well, now, if we take the Corona out of it, what's funny is if you take the Corona out of it, same amount of money. Like, so this is the rate of change. And you can just do this, and you can build a trade plan around rate of change. If you do a square rate of change here, and then, but this keeps you on track. No, because if you zoom in and out, this is going to ride along. So max zoom out on the almost max zoom out on the weekly. Wow, that is a fucking. And the thing is what was this? I don't know what this sell-off was. This was one. What was this drama about? Right? I don't think it was much different. There was a little more fuel in this one. But isn't this the reason why you could put this trend line here and say, well, that's an amazing return if we would have bought this bottom wick. Have you ever seen a return like that in 1 year? No, I have not. Whatever the impetus was for this sell-off, and of course, fractally speaking, this is the same. This sell-off drama is this sell-off drama. You could also say, guys that bought here got trapped and raped. Guys that bought here are laughing all the way to the bank. Smart money, and I'm saying the winning money, because you don't have to be smart to make money. And then structurally, you can say stuff like, well, you know, this was a previous top, came back and retested. I mean, this is some, and it's just hilarious that this was not sustainable. So the momentum's dying out. That was a record year if you count, and I'm kind of cheating a little bit because I'm putting my trend line just because if you really do it from the actual starting date, the price is there. So the rate of change is about that. This year, not so much, but you know, this is only 2014 back here, and maybe there's. And so what I'm seeing is fractally, I'm seeing three identical things right here that just pop out at me. I just noticed this one. So here is, we didn't know the future. And at this point, I'm sure people are like, dude, that's topping out, and it started to cave in. And once again, you get this lower low, you know, it keeps whipping lower. And I'm going to say, over a 2-year period, you just keep pounding that down. And this is the Corona pound, but this one, and you could make the claim that this is projected. I'm sure somebody's immediately going to say, people that are really into patterns, and I've seen them all. This is the megaphone pattern. It's expanding. You know, I mean, right? What do you do with it, right? What do you do about that? What you perceive, and I see this. I see three monster sell-offs, and of course this one seemed like a monster at the time. We had no idea, and if I put this on a logarithmic chart, it might take the drama out of some here, these sell-offs. But here's a big sell-off that year, the Corona crush. Now, is this because it went down so hard? Is this the recoil, overdrift, overshoot, amazing recovery? And if you clear the top of this, which for a lot of people, they sold into the Corona bullshit, and they are so pissed that they dump. How many people dumped their stocks there in a panic sell, or they got stopped out? And not only did we take out the Corona high, I mean, we are almost up percentage-wise. So if you consider that this, and move it up here, you know, hey, geez, about, that's still screaming north, but what is the future? My Lord, I mean, we're going to have to experience one of these moves, and this will be, I suppose, when not, I guess, the people that need the X22 people and the people that are, well, what's really going to happen, and this would be the chance to bring in a reset, a financial reset. Of course, this is the so here's a scenario I can imagine. You know, Bitcoin sells off to 20,000, it dicks around, and Bitcoin never leaves a $20,000 fixed, agreed upon fair value. And you tread water in Bitcoin, and the volatility dries up in Bitcoin. It just becomes another fucking like the bond market, just a creeper gear move. And okay, people are using this as a verification of transaction. That, to me, that's all it is. It is a uncopyable, unique. It's just like a really long password. And the Bitcoin mining is, tell me if I'm wrong, but you're trying to get a unique password that is now locked into a ledger, which nobody can change it's so deeply encrypted, and all you're doing is using video cards to create such deep singularity, uniqueness, but that's what humans are. And maybe that'll be the aha moment. They're like, well, by the way, we're all unique individuals. I mean, that's where you can go, I guess, soft woke. Oh, of course, I mean, I'm not without, it's not like I don't care about people that are downtrodden, but sorry, we can't all be healthy and wealthy and wise and all that stuff. And everybody's in a different thing, right? So some people are, I mean, I'm still amazed. I can't even, my math skills are getting worse as time goes on. I think I'm like, I have to write. I've always had to write it out. Like now 10 times 10 or 10 times 5, I can do that one. But when you start to do a decimal, I'm lost. The trading's really difficult for me on this basis of like, what price is that? People call out targets, and I'm like, oh my God, do I have to look at the fucking sky? Because I'm just trading pure patterns. I'm a pattern trader. I think most guys are. Most people, if you see a spider, your brain's like, oh God, that's a spider. Is it a kitten or a spider? I mean, who doesn't have instant? In the big sell-off here, I mean, certainly the step in front of this Corona sell-off, if you even got in halfway down this thing, and this is certainly the brutality, if I start buying here, and I would, I'm sure a lot of people are buying at this point when you took out this shelf, and it's just vertical trading now. Forget the trend line. So I'm not really a trend line trader in that sense, but I mean, my brain throws a trend line on this immediately and says, what, fucking A. And so we started the new year here. What's going to happen when people withdraw and they say, you know what, the coronavirus is bullshit. We're going to go back to old school. We're going to pendulum swing where people are like licking doorknobs again and toilet seats and reading books, and they're doing home businesses, and they pull a John Galt, and they build their own gulch, and they say, fuck this shit, it's going to happen. It's happening. It's always been there. And just like we were, I was astounded at the corruption of the government. I didn't think it was like that, right? Because I thought those are for movies. We save that drama and bullshit and evilness for movies, but apparently, no, they fucking busting their ass on that. And I have all the faith and confidence that the underground economy, the dark market, the black market, the people are able to manage through this, so the headlines aren't reality at all. I mean, the world's not falling apart. It's a natural cycle, I think, and I'm glad to see them destroy on one level. In other words, let the little brats they have to burn themselves out. But it's better they get out of their system and burn down the cities and take down the statues and cleanse everything, and then they can have their aha moment. And I guess it's sentimental reasons people don't want to lose their statues and their icons and their things traditions that they hold on to and become the anchor and makes life a routine, safe thing. I know a lot of people that they make pretty good money at just a normal office job, and I bet they say they don't like it, but they probably have some friends there, and it's a double-edged sword, and the kind of the feeling of, and they've got people. I mean, this is just how life is, right? The weekend is different than the weekdays, right? And on the weekends, we're closed, or so this is a cycle. You cannot, unless you live off the grid and really off of routines and off of schedules, and the Forex market, it's closed, but you come in on Monday and then it's like, okay, another week. So we can't totally live a life that is, you can't control everything because you're at the mercy of all of this shit going around you. I guess it's about protecting yourself from what could happen, but also making money from stuff that's astounding. Like if you told somebody you had a buy limit sitting there and you're like, yeah, one day this market's going to sell off and they're going to fill me, and everybody's laughing at you. and you're long on just the smallest position in the world, and this is probably almost impossible to happen. Also, there's the guy that went and shorted right there just before Corona. He goes, this looks like this looks overbought, and he made more money on that Corona sell-off than he's ever made in his life. Now he tries to replicate that trade, and he keeps shorting this as it goes up. It's going to happen again. You'll see it's going to happen again. Even right now, he's probably selling that. He's given back everything he made on that one sell-off because he's a one-trick pony. If you just buy plunges all day long. But let's be realistic. I wouldn't worry about this chart in the sense of, to me, if this is a 15-minute chart, this would be a serious news event, this Corona sell-off, just from the drama. So I'm going to play back the 15-minute chart in Robot. I'm going to rehearse trading a 15-minute chart because that's what I'm trading. I'm trading the half hour, 15, whatever, small time frames because I don't feel like waiting 5 years to get filled in a limit that's counting on people to panic like this. So we've seen this huge pendulum swing, and people, they run from one ship to the next, right? And when you hear the news, it's always bad news. Oh, home sales are getting better and car sales are up. But there's going to be a saturation point where everybody's got a fucking new car, dude. And when people throw a monkey wrench in there, and the government tries to manipulate the economy, the only manipulators are the government, They set up these structures, the LIBOR rates, all that pissing and moaning about, well, the banks are taking advantage of. Dude, they're just, this is what's total bullshit is that floor traders that yell at each other in a fucking trading pit have to pay $1 million to buy a seat on the exchange, even though they're standing up and yelling at each other. They're inside traders. There's people in that pit, when they do a trade, they're connected to Morgan Stanley or Citibank, and when that guy puts a trade on, people will fucking piggyback on his trade because the guy's trade so fucking big. And then they get the body language and they go, okay, but the same thing's happening digitally. When people see that first tick, they go, somebody's coming in. People that looking at all the making decisions on the volumes ticking up. For me, now the argument whether this one guy was arguing, of course he drinks, but low volume, big volume on the bar. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter the volume on a bar. I mean, I could care fucking less. Volume never makes me money. I never get a clue what's going on from volume. I just look at the price and I go, I mean, the volume on that sell-off on Corona, what is that? Let's see. I don't know if they're going to give it to me in here. I'll turn it on I just trying to get the simplest trading system I could come up with. A trend line on close, and we're going to do buy limit, sell limit. And I'm going to trade at the market next week, a little bit at the market. And if you trade at the market, you want to keep your market trades down to a very scrutinized. I would filter that, but the limits, no, there's no filter on the limits because you're just buying into plunges if they occur, and this is kind of you're trying to net an event. You're trying to lay a grid of orders and capture a wick, and it's kind of exciting so it was exciting doing that in that NASDAQ on Friday because it would spike down, and I thought if it retraces in about 40 seconds, I could make $40, And I could have never bought that at the market, even if I wanted to, because I'd have to click that. It'd have to get to the server. So the limit order is quicker. It's zero. Like this high frequency thing's a joke. Dude, a limit order beats a market order any day. And, for execution, not for price, but for execution. Price is there. The market hits it. You're already on the fucking ledger. So the 15-minute strategy tester, we open up that and we pick a fixed. I'm going to go with a robot fixed pip. If you have a robot, you're probably going to want to run it on a fixed pip broker or get a fixed pip account. Save you the spreads widening and save you. So if you test it, if we can trust the testing method of MT4, it's going to be, you're not going to have this thing where the spread gets wide and the robot won't run. So I'm just picking somewhere in time. It doesn't matter because I'm the 15-minute chart. There's got to be a million fucking trades, right? Put it on visual mode. Pick the date range. I'm just using the sample that came with MT4. And I wrote a 5 pip grid template. So the dashed lines are 5, the solid lines are 10 pips, but I just put it in there so it doesn't become a visually disturbing thing to look at. So I put the dotted lines is 5, and we have the 10 pip grid, and in between we have the 5, right? Just so you can get a clue here of what it's costing. And I'm just going to call out my trades the way I see the market. So I'm just trying to learn how to trade by rehearsing this as if we have a guitar that has 6 strings, because in the guitar, music instruments do not change their dimensions. You have 6 strings unless you have a 7-string guitar. You got a 6-string guitar, you got 24 frets, you got 2 octaves, and this is that's what you got in this system here. We have a grid. You can't there's some licks you can't do because you got to get a fucking bigger guitar for bigger moves, so this is all based upon my targets that I've hard coded. And if I trade at the market on the 15 and I buy when I'm supposed to buy and sell when I'm supposed to sell for the market orders, and there won't be that many because there's 96 bars, 96 tiers, I suppose, in this daily chart. So all day you're going to have 96 zigzags here. And you can draw the trend lines too, also. And I can also get in on limits. And so not every trend is going, trends don't last forever. If I draw a trend line here, oh, look, it's going up. Yeah, but what's really going on is you kind of missed your entry down here. In my opinion, you should have bought this 10 pip trap. Now, that's 5 pips into the window. There's 10. Do we ever, here's an example of a low risk entry. You got a 5 pip stop. You're buying here. You're going to exit here. This is on and on. This top becomes a bottom breakout. But is this going forever? No. It reaches a climax. It's going to break this trend line. It's a lot of redrawing shit. This beautiful trend until it breaks, right? I would rather place orders myself up here to sell on limits in a 5 pip window. Even this here, I'd rather buy in this slot. I'd rather sell off this rooftop. I know this is about a 5 pip window. I got sell limits up there right now. My target's going to be here because I'm on the 15. You risk more, make more on the half hour, but this is the 15. This is the high of the day as far as we know. And this is how I'm looking at it. Now I can zoom out. We only have this much data, and I probably can't go much faster playback than this because I can go up to about 31 speed here. So this will be a quick rehearsal of what to do, when, how, where. We want to definitely buy down here, and these wicks are telling you that on the 1 minute chart we're seeing probably a double bottom in here, and this 5 pip window of commerce, and it's about 7 pips here. I guess these are order blocks. The big bunch of wicks, I don't know. I guess this is what order blocks are. It's a block of orders. There's more orders here than ever were. We know the volume's high here. There's a bunch of controversy. The scalpers scalped to the floor of that wick. They're out. Now we're engulfing. We just engulfed, did we not? Yes. I don't know why people can't see this shit, but once you see it, I guess you can't unsee it. New lows to new highs. The trade is not over. You bought down here, you sold here, the sellers are coming in, right? You could sell here too. Okay, you just made 5 pips. You sold up here. What do you do now? I'm going to buy here. So all day long, I put sell limits up here. Now here, this is the high of the day. We could place those orders now, or we just think about, you can mark, you don't have to place orders now, but you can mark these zones off. Now market orders wise, you want to be a high frequency trader. I mean, you trade a lot. None of this fucking nanosecond shit. I mean, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. What that guy was talking about is fantasy shit. So, you just buy because it's down. Now you're going to wait 15 minutes. You're going to sell at the market. And, okay, sell at the market. And you got your limits up here. So sell one at the market. And if this pulls back to here, you're going to have to think about, well, should I take profits? Maybe you think it's going to go up. You're up in the trade right now. That's the ask. It's 2 pip spread. You're up. Okay, wait 15 minutes. Top becomes a bottom. Get out of your market order right now. Here comes the buyers. You could have bought here. You got a top become a bottom. You could have pulled the trigger on that one. It's a lot of work on the 15. Now the settlements are getting filled. We got a scalp built into that. So that's how it is, man. I could go on and on about this shit. You gotta practice. Just like guitar. This is like playing scales here, dude. You can't fuck all these indicators. Fuck all this shit. I mean, it just gets you. Here's a trend line. Like that shit. Here's a trend line break. Come pull back. Get in. You can do setups. Here's your trend line and close. Breaks out, pulls back, get in. Whatever fucking harebrained rule, I don't care, run fucking indicators. But dude, think about it, man. There's a narrative here. We're inching towards the high of the day. What's going to happen? Now, we don't know what's to the left. And here's the scary thing. If this is a fucking 8-year high, careful getting into the short side. Run tight stops. Let them stop you out. Because we could be right here right now. Breaks out. Here comes fucking news. We rip north. I don't think so much. This is this is the U.S. Open. Now I got to find out if I can get an indicator that just nails 9:30 in the morning here, because I don't know military time. But this might be the Dow Jones opening, and once again we see the same shit every day. They come down here and they dick around in a 10 pip window, but you could have taken every trade off that supply zone. You'd have to, right? Because if you got filled here, you got to rinse and repeat. You can make a ton of fucking money on this 15. And you can do it without even, like right now, the way it looks to me, I'm going to run based on what I'm seeing. I'd love to have a robot do this for me. Let's just put buy limits here, man. It's lower risk to put a sell limit up here right now. So I can't drop these scripts because it's not going to let me, but here's my sell limit, right? Let me just do one little thing. I got to go back. I got to go and be ridiculous tonight, so I just want to get this video done. Let me see if I got they're perfect. So let me just, to make it full transparency, I'm not going to stop the tape. I had my keyboard sitting on the ground there. I'm sleeping with my gear. I don't know, dude. I got like fucking. I'm looking at the market on tablet shit. I'm sleeping, staring at the market. Okay, my eyes are dried out. Look at this run, right? So I say be very careful. This is your only chance to get in on the 15 pullback. And this could be a monster run. And it just looks intense here, you know. Like I said, so this selling new highs. Now it looks very intense because but we're only 20 pips up. Now if you're on the 1 hour chart, at the end of the hour you sell, right? Now here's your first pullback. That's the first pullback. And I don't like to buy like this. Honestly, I know that's a pullback. I don't like to buy here. To me, I missed the move. I'd rather lay track of sell limits up here. And we're about to come into Asia. So I don't have to be in the market all the whole time either. The nice thing about putting sell limits up here and planning for the next day. And now this is the top. The confirmation people are waiting for it to come here. So I could trade both sides towards the middle like bookends. I can do this strategy, sell in limits in this box and buy in limits in that box. And that'd be my trade plan. Let me speed it up so we can just blow through this now. Max speed is going to be pretty fast. Okay, so you see I'm short, right? I'm short. And I just cashed out, right? On something, right? And I could actually just wait till we hit this box. Okay, now I'm long. Right? Supply zone, or whatever you want to call it. Now, if this script expires and this drops lower, we will not get filled. So here's the expiration time on the scripts. Now you might want to say, well, for the next hour, I'm going to buy here. So this is my column of buy limits because these are going to expire. I just got filled. Right. Now, that not only am I filled on that, and you got to think a little deeper. Now, when the market gets wacky like this, you could trade this. You could say, well, I'm a trend trader and I sold the top here. Don't forget, you were shitting your pants when we sold up here on limits because your stops are too tight. But look, you're up on every fucking trade now, right? Are you not? Now they're coming in. This isn't going to fill because it expired, but you're going to buy it here now, right? This is the new giant in an auction. So look at this. So you'll see this in Asia. They'll come down and take out the high of the previous day. You want to buy that, right? Look how that is the low price. Nice fucking win there. Now we could take out Asia's high. I was doing this last night. This guy, this is the new target is to make it above here. Take out Asia's high. And that's going to be your profits for the guy that bought these wicks down here. And you're waiting to get to get out of that trade, and maybe they're going to rip it down. This is why you got to scale out. Look, another chance to get in and buy more. So I'm getting more, buying more here. Now I want to cash out into the supports that were in this box. Let me go for this. Let me just put more space in front of us so we can plan the next day. So you got to plan ahead for these trades. And this is where it's kind of fun to see what limits will fill and which ones won't. We'll start putting our trade plans in now. We should have been long here. This is the classic bang. The scalpers scalp to the floor. It comes down for one more and then rip. This is that U.S. Open maybe? Stocks open down. They trap them. And where's your exit? Above Asia, right? It's also the place to sell. So range trading's great until we go into a trend. But we can make enough money here. And the bigger picture is we definitely want to buy anything below yesterday's low today on this right here as we come in the middle. And we want to sell anything above yesterday's high. So we got to keep getting rid of these and putting new boxes in. Always aware of the fact that this is the low of the day. Sure, you could trade a double bottom if it hits here. I'm waiting for a double bottom inside the box. Okay, whatever. But just throw the fucking limits in. I mean, what the fuck? You know, that's what I say. What the fuck am I thinking? Like, and let's put the bigger tickets at the bottom in another box. Here we're going to have even more orders, and they last longer, and on and on. Okay, we just dipped in the window. We just got filled in the box on something. Also, I got to fix the scale here so we can do a little bit more, keep track of what's going on. It's very fast. Fast market down. So I'm buying more and more and more just on limits. I don't even have to pull the trigger at the market, and I won't actually unless I see the 1 hour is down hard. Okay, we just got filled on the big ticket. So we bought into this box with X size, and we bought more on that other box down. And why did we buy this box? Because we wanted to buy, we had already planned the trade out. We want to buy new lows, the low of the day. And here we've got more tickets, and I'm willing to go underwater all week on this trade. Oh shit, I can't, yeah, I can. It's hard to stretch this out because we don't have any data back there yet. Okay, now I'm really buying really bigger, buying bigger and bigger. I'm swing trading it, by the way, even though on the 15-minute chart, but I could still have scalped this Asian. See how they took out the low of the previous day and then they come up. This is like prime real estate down here. Let me redraw my entry. So you got to keep track. So we really loaded the wagon here, very much so. This is also a low range day. Look how the range of this day is like this. This is like a fucking breakout trade. So we're breaking out, right? I'm still long. I'm holding this trade, and where am I going to get out? We got to zoom out and see. Well, I'm out of all my trades. They're all winners, right? I bought into the plunge. I know it looks like dire straits here. I just made 50 pips or something here. Buying into the plunge. There was an interview that Ryan Brown did with this guy. You should listen to it. That was like 5 days ago. This guy turned 20 grand into 200 grand. Watch the interview. He really didn't do that. So he's using Ryan's robot, and it's so sad because Ryan's all giddy, but the guy says, well, your robot put me in a 50% drawdown, 75%, and I had to manually trade out of it. I had to rescue your robot. There's nothing to brag about, and so, but the thing is, psychologically, when the robot's trading, so he said, and he's a very young trader, he trades for a living now. I guess he's up to 200 grand, so he doesn't want to blow it up, right? So it's cutting way back in the risk. So he learned how to trade stocks. He's a trader. So we learn these things. Here's another opportunity, putting your cells up here. Also, this would be your target. I mean, if you're not in the market, you would have sold the high the previous day. That's a 10 pip window. And where are you going to tag? You're going to tag out. You're going to get out and you take profits in Asia. Buyers are coming in here now. But the thing about the interview is that, and we got big ass fucking buy limits in here right now. And the thing about the interview is that when he talked about how he, in 1 year he made 180 grand, right? $20,000 account, and he's using the robot, and he says, oh, I see a market. I want to get in. The robot's saving him. And I think the robot, so this robot I ran with real money one day, I go, let's just launch this fucker. I'm so sick. See how I got filled there? I'm so tired of all that shit. Let's just run it. Let's just fuck back testing and real money. I put 6 currency pairs on it. It's a really low risk robot. Every hour it launches 15-minute scripts. I can see him come in, and I'm on my phone and I'm plucking off a buck here, a buck there. Canadian dollar, more money. The big movers, more money. What's so funny is it is how Ryan Brown has not lost money. The robot's not trading great, but it's money management. The robot's going to do a trailing stop. The robot's going to do this, going to do that. And I know my strategy of just throwing in limits. So my robot would literally, I'd pick a robot that has a deep, shallow, medium array it's throwing out. It would have captured this fucking, I didn't have to. I could and I couldn't. I could buy everything from here down. Like I could turn on the robot and have it just start buying plunges. It's about to fucking make money. If I got what, it's about to make money right now, right? Boom. And there's sellers above here. We're going to sell up here. Now, this could be quite a move, right? Because if we can take that out, okay, we just got filled. The scalpers did that trade. Now, maybe it's going to crush down and I'm going to run. I would turn on my buy limit bot that puts in 15-minute orders here and just let that thing go, right? It's a trading assistant, in my opinion. I know I want to put buy limits, and this is the thing. It comes down to it. It's about this. Fuck, everything I said, forget about it. Forget trend lines, all that shit. And in the end of this game, you need to buy low, sell high. But how many times? What frequency? And look at this beautiful, if you're still holding your shorts from this box, how many trades are you going to do, and how much effort do you see yourself putting forth? Now, you're trading the ES Mini. You could sit there in one morning and make I bet I could make $1,000 on Monday morning trading that. Trading lighter and trading smarter, I guess. I would definitely run double clicks. There's more discipline in a hard-coded double click that's going to put an array in, as opposed to I was doing drag and drops then. I'd written some scripts, some crude scripts for the S&P, and some of them were just ridiculously tight stops. They're kind of silly. Another mistake there is getting in too big with when the market heats up. You can't trade with tight stops. There's no fucking way you're going to survive. I don't think people realize that the market's volatility dynamics are so extreme that nobody can ride. The Corona sell-off would tell you, with $1 million in the account, if you're trapped in 1K, I wonder what the math is. What is this Corona sell-off in a 1K on this broker? I don't know, like 50 grand on a 1K. It just seems mind-blowing. One day, if you're trading without stops, one day you're going to lose account. So you need to have more than one trading account. And the whining about, oh, I don't feel safe having my broker. Do you feel safe in anything now? If you got to wear a mask to get your fucking money out of the bank, if you got to put up with fucking, oh, due to the coronavirus, we're short-handed. What? What fucking kind of pussy business are you running? You were that fragile you couldn't even fucking handle this shit? You're already fucking on the... Dude, you're already texting and offshoring all your tech support fucking calls. So how is that even... What? We've been digital for fucking 20 years. People have been working out of their house. Oh my God. I mean, please, people. So I don't know. Just a little bit of... Look at how noisy this... Now, this is distribution or reaccumulation. We see all this choppy shit. Chop, 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 chop. Are the big boys waiting on the sidelines for the big plunge? Here's a better view. We can draw a trend line here, and this is almost like trend line on bars, because the trend line on the daily is probably more like this, because these are wicks. So I'm not going to draw trend lines on this shit. I'm not drawing trend lines on this shit. I'm just going to vertically trade this. This is depth of market trading, I guess you call it. It's kind of like distribution here. Now, I definitely want to exploit this. You make a new low, but careful, because it looks like we're going to cave in and the sellers are coming in on that floor now. This is the beginning of the sell-off. And this does look like distribution because it's all choppy, choppy, choppy. And it keeps cutting into this. Okay, now you're going to make money here, but I don't have to worry about this because you know where my orders are. Buying like a whore down here, and I actually bought into that plunge. Why would I buy here? And people are like, well, where do you put your orders? Yeah, see the double bottom here, big supply zone, whatever. I call this the vacuum. It's not an order block. It's a lack of orders, right? What the fuel there, now we just scalped to the floor. Now we're holding. Our final target might be here, but we may not make it, And we made enough money just on these dead cat bounces. Okay, now we're buying because I didn't have a chance to put it in, but I'm buying here. Where's my biggest buys in the world? And I may not get filled till next week, but here, right? Who's not buying here? So we scalped this to the floor. Now it looks like we could break. We can break higher and get through this. Here is the staying away from trend lines because we can see in our mind that it's coming down. You really can't see that stuff. You really need to draw a trend line. But here, this is the tippity top. We put sell limits up here. This is also the place we're going to cash out. I'd be cashing out right now. Right, so this is the big target is that double bottom. We finally got it. But the only way we got fuel to make it there was to go 10 pips lower. 10 pips lower. The smart money or the winning money with the best ratios is waiting for the market to come back for this supply zone and fill you on that fucking amazing entrance and make your 50 pips with a 10 pip stop. And scale out along the way from here. Here's a top become a bottom. Oh, actually, we come back into Asia's high. So we keep track of Asia here while we play it back. Look at that, was Asia right there. We want to buy the stop hunt in Asia. We want to buy in here, and we want to sell above Asia too, or cash out. So we're buying this plunge. We bought all this. We're buying that plunge in Europe, and here's my big orders I was talking about. I hope they come back and fill them, and I said it might take a few days. So it looks like we could punch into that right now. Here's what blows people's minds. This that just keeps tanking, but it's almost like it's after these boxes. So if we take out this low, from here down, I'm just going to load the wagon. Now somebody got in heavy right there in that 10 pip window. Do you see that? Somebody bought that. And now here comes the heavy smart money. They're going to buy this whole plunge. They're going to gobble that shit up, right? And they scalped it back to the floor, and that's the high probability. It's probably news or something, and that looks like the Dow Jones just opened. Target's going to be here. Now this is where it's a white knuckle event, and I'm going to zoom out to see if we're making new lows. Okay, we came back all the way to this trough. Now you would have said, oh, they're never coming down there, and the heavy hitters got big tickets down here. You see how much money they just made? Like, I'm buying that just because it's low, but what is the big deep vac is there, and that's what's causing that rally. And the floor is there. They're all cashed out, right? You see, everybody just got out of that trade. I mean, not everybody, but the guys that buy from here down, like me. Wrong indicator. This is fast, so I'm just going to blow through this because I don't have no patience. So that, right? And you come back to the top of that box, but actually it overshot the runway. Look at this. Wow. Great fucking trade, dude. Now that is amazing. I could just capture the wick on that. I like the wick because it's a quick and dirty trade. Now what's going to happen here is I'm going to do the same trade. Buy limits below. Now this is kind of subtle, but you see that low just before the end? That is my Asian buy wick. I'm long now. And my cash out is going to be the top of Asia, which is right here. There's sellers up here, and I could also sell here. Put a bunch of sell limits up here, and I bought that. One more stop hunt, I bought that, right? Now I cashed out, right? You see how we just tagged that top of Asia there? Cash out. And I could have bought this plunge, and I have double clicks running. I'm always trolling. Now we sell. Now we cash out. We sold in that box. And now you could hold till we come here. We might even come down here and we'll get we'll come here now. We got buy limits here. Or that's your target. Now we just bought that one. I just bought this lonely wick. And I'm cashing out. And I'm selling into the box. Now here's where you be careful. You got to also look at this. I got sells on this lonely wick. I know it's frightening when they fill this, but it's exciting for me. Now that's distribution. All that wick. It's probably going to crush back now. We could put buy limits on here, but there's no way I could imagine putting one single buy limit here with a 10 pip stop. No, I'm trading total retard. I got a limit arrays in here. I got 2 hours, 4 hours. By here, I'm in 400K. I mean, if it ever comes here, 400K, dude. Now, I'm making the boxes extend into the future. So if you picture a script that lasts all day long, and these are supply and demand zones, don't change. There's no waiting for the indicators to catch up. Okay, I'm getting filled now. Why am I buying here? Because this is the Asian, I guess it's the fair value. I'm buying because of this. There's a void here, right? This is the vacuum I'm buying into. And we want to scalp to the top of the box. We may not get it. We have to settle for, okay, I got my target. And there's sellers. The real target is just above Asia. Here's where my sell banks start for the next day, and I'm going to sell even more up here. So I'm short right now. We want it to come back to this high to cash out, and we got it. See how it came back, and now we're doing new sells, and we're cashed out of those. I've got 5 pip targets, 8 pip targets inside the scripts. People say, what's your target? It's 5. It's 5, 7, 9. I mean, seriously. The drop that I'm putting in here has probably got a 20 pip stop to make 9 pips. A 10 pip stop to make 5. Bad ratios on some of this shit because you're never going to be able to look at that distribution. So I sold in that box. You're never going to be able to get this 20, 30 pip target. It's not going to happen, and you're not going to survive this drama to make your 5 pips. So you have to have some that are risk 10 to make 5. This is a known fact. You got to have bad ratios and good ratios because look at all that shit there. You got to make some money during that shit. And right now, the 5 and 10 and 9 and 15 pip targets are cashing like mad. 15, and you're gonna put a 10 to make 15, but 20% of your trades have to be shit ratios. So you need to have customers that just do dumb shit. Okay, so now here's Asia. We're buying into this box. We got this nice deep pool. We could put a big bunch of our orders in there, and then this is the big deal. This double top. There's a huge sell window up here. So I just got filled on my first buy limits when they took out the low of Asia, right? So I'm buying the new lows in Asia. And I got big tickets down here because that is the low of the previous day. This is, if we take out this low, okay, I'm buying heavy now. Just mind-blowing amounts. And I'm buying it because we just took out the low of 2 days ago. Look at the liquidity there. Somebody just scalped that. And if you can afford it, you're going to buy so much down here that it's going to blow your mind, right? Because this is, who's not buying down there? Now we just made our scalp. We're waiting for the engulf. So we scalp to this, right, to the trap, you know. Now we could go deeper. So here's where it gets kind of exciting. I'm hoping they go to lower. Okay, I'm buying more. And not even in the market. The beauty of this one, you can sleep through this. And I'm going to buy so much below here. And I got enough money, because all the money I make from all of my fucking trades I just did, I'm going to buy real deep down here. I'm going to buy more than you can. This is a 100 pip grid. I'm going to buy in a 70 pip window here. Look how they just bottom ticked Bobby that last thing there, dude. Look at that shit. Within a 5 pip window, talk about, wow. Don't forget, I'm in these trades here and currently underwater, waiting for the conclusion to the story of, I don't have to go to the daily chart. I know this is low. You don't have to flip time frames here. We got to make it above this threshold now. The sellers keep coming in here. Everybody's scalped that could scalp in that window. Now we're buying heavy buy. Oh my God. Finally, right? This will be a great trade. If it retraces, it does not guaranteed. That's the London Open, I suppose. And here comes U.S. markets. Trapped under the floor. I'm going to cash out the top of that box. It's all predetermined, man. These grids have cash outs of 5, 10, 15, 20. And I cashed out on something here. I had to. It's just embedded in the whole. I put a labyrinth of, a matrix of orders in there, dude. It's set it and forget it shit. I don't have to watch this shit. I can the robot could keep launching kind of even more actually, because if you commit to a bank of tickets here for a whole day, so we loaded the wagon here by default. Now, when we come into Asia, we'll probably be able to cash out to the floor here, I'm hoping. It's not guaranteed. And now it's going to make money. And people have been trapped. We could still tank here. Also, what I'll do here, which is, if I don't have enough fills, I'm buying that Asian trap. So I got buy limits below the first sell-off in Asia. Now I'm buying more. Buy. And below, we could take out this low coming into U.S. markets. I'm going to buy here too. Oh, I just picked up the ticket. See how they dipped in 5 pips below the low of the previous day? You see how heavy the buying was there? All the wicks, right? Astounding. And at this point, people are like, God damn it, it's in a fucking downtrend. No, not me, dude. I'm total contrarian. Everybody's full of shit. Corona's in your fucking mind, dude. Don't forget the placebo effect. Look at that. 1 pip lower. Just fucking beating the shit out of people. That's the U.S. market open. Oh, I'm so long this thing right now. I know this trade. Dude, you give me any 15-minute chart on the euro anywhere in the world, anywhere in the, I'm going to trade it just like this. Just like this, man. It's just a gold mine. You rehearse these trades. Here's Asia. And don't forget, I got my big fat target here. I've been buying for 2 days of this bullshit, scalping around it. I got big tickets down here. I don't care if I lose. I don't care. Got big tickets down. Oh, even more to buy. Oh, beautiful there. Took out the low of the day by just 10 pips there, dude. Here's Europe. They're taking it down. Now, when U.S. market opens, we could just plunge. Oh, could we plunge, you know? Buy, buy, buy. Just building this monstrous swing trade and scalping along the way. We've had some dead cat bounces here. Big heavy buyer down here. Now, here's where you're martingaling in. You're buying so heavy into this day. Let me zoom out. Now we're in a trend, right? We've moved outside that range. So it looked like I got an idea to buy below here, but if you did not scalp something in here, you're fucked. This is pure limit strategy I'm trading, by the way. I've given up on calling out the market orders because we could have sold into this on tops become bottoms of the market, right? We all know this one, but it's too much. You see this perfect little stairway to hell? Every time a top becomes a bottom, sell. The guy we were talking last night. What's a top become a bottom? Well, on a 50-minute chart, every time it comes back to this bottom, sell the market, sell the market, sell the market, right? You could ride this down at the market, but I'm not talking about that now. I'm talking about set it and forget it. You got a day job, you're cheating on your wife, you can't get time to fucking trade this shit. You throw a fucking basket of limits in. Interwoven into their scalps. I'm still buying into this, by the way. So the swing traders, everything below here is nothing but buy city. Buy, buy, buy. The smart money's just loading the wagon. I mean, people are shitting their pants now. This is all, and all the trend traders are like, oh, I can't believe you're buying. It's in a downtrend. Yeah, really? Okay. Well, you know what, dude? I don't know what to tell you. You never seen unfair value. You never see. Here's another scalp. If this is the floor of this doji, people just scalp to that. See, they bought there. Now I would not buy anymore. And my system's not going to buy anymore. We're scalping to the floor, and now we're going to get paid. Now, you're going to have to run 150 pip stop on these trades, and I can do that. In fact, here is the ultimate trap. In Asia, you take out the low of the previous day. Now, if you're martingaling in here, you just bought so much down here. And now, what are people saying about, oh, it's in a downtrend, blah, blah, blah. I've never seen this data before. I'm taking risk here. I'm rehearsing this trade. If we ever make it back to here, where the whole crush started, this major support, we almost made it there. I guarantee a lot of people are getting out there because of this is the new place to sell. I'm getting out there that one day, dude. And what am I doing now? I made all that fucking money. Same dumb shit trade. Buy limits. Come on, people. Stop it with the indicators. I'm so fucking pissed about it. The Renko traders, all that, it's all bullshit. This market maker technique, or this supply and demand shit, this is it. Now, we did make it finally if you waited, but that's a sell window. It's every new windows, and every buy's a sell, every sell's a buy. Yes, you could have see that top become a bottom. I was just describing the stairway to hell. You could do that, but at some point, dude, the game's over. Here is the stop hunt. We just talking about what happened. Dude, I'm fucking doing this. You do this shit. Let me see you call out your put your indicators up. You should be able to run your template right now and call off those trades. A robot ain't gonna trade as good as me, dude. Ain't no fucking robot gonna see what's going on here and say, oh, look at this. If I'm gonna buy new lows in Asia now, if you are just about to blow up your account, there's no way you can afford to buy heavy down there. Look at this thing give back all that fucking price. What are you saying now about your downtrend again? Oh, and now let me guess what you're telling me now. Sorry if I get pissed, but I don't care anymore. Oh, I'm going long now. Yeah, my moving averages turned bullish. Oh, really? Dude, I just made so much fucking money. I'm ready to sell now. I just went short here. Why? Because of here. Right? Same thing on the top side. Deep supply zone. I'm short. Now I'm going to play the same game. I got sell limits up here. Is it possible we could come back to here? Anything's possible. It doesn't have to. I don't know what's going to happen here, but you got to be, if people tell you, oh, I'm bullish, I'm like, what could possibly go wrong? I just went short there. It took out the high the previous day in Asia. I'm short in this pocket right here. I'm short. I'm about to make money. Boom, out. My first target is where I got in, and we made more. We made a few more. Now I think we're going to fill the vacuum possibly. Now, actually, this is easy to trade for me. This day would be easy. Buy limits here, sell limits here. I could do a completely symmetrical, balanced trade plan, and I could run a robot that does both, buys and sells. If I think we're going to go in a chop, I could run the chop bot. If I think we're going to, if I could actually name the robot in the template. I did write a robot called the chop bot. It just kept on putting buys and limits, and it's just going to take advantage of this bullshit here, because this could be a distribution day where it's all choppy and then it plunges into this void below. And it looks very choppy. Look at all the wickage, and look at all the zigzags, and look at all the fucking, this is what distribution looks like. Yeah, this is what I can't remember what the quote the guy made on this thing, but this also could be a reaccumulation to go along. Anyways, how's my robot doing? By the way, we were actually trading this moving average MACD system. Hey, look at MACD robot. Look at that, losing money again. Yeah, it's not blowing up the account. This is a 50-minute chart. Oh shit, I'm stuck in this mode. I think. Oh, here we go. Okay, so anyways, sorry I get all pissed off, but I just you reach a certain point where you're just like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what planet are you on? Okay, I just sold that, by the way. I'm selling new highs here. Okay, I'm up on that trade. Like, so here's the slot. Here's a low risk slot. You gotta wait all day, right? You have to wait until the next day. Sell here, and then where are you gonna target to get out? I definitely. Now here's the big giant sea of. Don't forget, everybody's bullish now, right? No nonsense algorithms went bullish. Time to think reversals. No nonsense does not trade reversals. Why not? He's not a structured trader. He can't do it, man. He's a trend trader. Okay, you're a low frequency trader and you can make money. Yes, I got it. There are people using no nonsense making money. I'm buying into that box right now. No nonsense is long, and he's like, well, my algorithm says I should have bought back here. It's bullish, and oh shit, this is where I got in, isn't it? Does this ever happen to anybody? Look at this beautiful fucking scalp. Into the pool, back to the floor, you're out. Or confirmation traders sell into this. Either way. Once again, winning. I bought this box. Winning. Don't need no Fibonacci. Don't need no indicators. I got my sell window up here. All day long, I know where I'm going to sell. I know my trade plan is so fucking obvious and stupid. I think it goes past people because you're like, no, it can't be that simple. Look at this pivot. Right back to the box on the 15. It's like clockwork. I don't have to know where the market's going to make money. If it goes into my sell window, I'm a seller. If it goes into my buy window, I'm a buyer. I have no bias. I have zero fucking bias. I do have a little bias about which vacuum's getting bigger. But everything I've ever fucking seen with these trading fucknuts, rehashing the same dumb shit concepts, tired bromides of how to make money in the markets, nothing but fucking shit like, well, first we have to look at we have to get a bias. Are you bullish or bearish? Because, you got to figure out whether you're going to buy or sell. Well, why don't I just let the market figure it out? If it's up, I'm selling. If it's down, I'm buying. if they don't fill my buy limits, fuck signals. My signal is I look at my phone and look, I'm in a trade. Fuck. The most glorious feeling in the world is to look at your phone and go, hell, I'm already out of half of the position. I just scalped that automatically. Wow, shit. Okay, so we just finished the playback there. Sorry for that. I got a little unwrapped. I'm trying to wake up. I'm trying to get some adrenaline for the performance tonight, and I'm going to perform. And, you know, scalping, okay, let me just do a closing argument. That was like live trading to me. And there's some kind of, you know, it's exciting. I was calling out those trades. I mean, that was a fucking amazing plunge and whatever. And now we can look at this. That's MACD histogram in the way trying to buy. But look, let's take a look at a condensed view. Let's do a fucking debriefing of that anger rant. But, you know, hey, listen, man, I can't take it anymore, okay? Now, this is a 100 pip grid on these big black lines. That is a 10 pip grid labeled here, and the little dash is the 5 pip grid. And there's so many trades in here from just a kind of a 20 pip win device, right? Where you're, let's just review what happened there. You buy in here, because that was flying at us. That reminded me of that Friday S&P and stock futures. But, you know, you can kind of see that, wow, what if we take out the low here? We could plunge. And here's why I think people are getting trapped. The no-nonsense guys, they get a sell signal here, and I got you. They made this chunk, but by the time their systems kick in and they get this beautiful, even the trend line traders, I'm waiting for it to touch the trend line to get short here, right? And you got confluence because the bottom becomes the top of the trend line, and you sell here, blah blah blah. But I'm going to make way more money than them because I got way more fucking tickets in there that I don't give a shit about. If I buy this plunge, this is a 100 pip plunge. If I can sustain this with all the scalping and dead cat bounces, and then the lower it goes, the more I buy. I'm martingaling in. I think a lot of people start off with a standard lot here and they have no dry powder left. Their account cannot handle that. And they haven't scalped along the way. If you're trading raw standard lots, you buy a standard lot here, 2 standard lots, 3 standard lots, 4 standard lots, yeah, you're going to fucking flip that account. You're going to make a crush when it comes back all the way to this, even to this floor. Is that not a fucking sweet trade? Now, if you're looking at the 15-minute chart when this happens, you're never going to make that conclusion, are you? I think it blew up the computer. Okay, it's better without the grid anyways, so we can see the pure structure. Every new low, like here is the ultimate. You take out the low the previous day, nice, but it doesn't mean that we're going to come back to here, and this is what kills people. They don't have enough dry powder to buy this beautiful crush. And to add insult to injury, the guy has his poor stop here at the low of the day. Oh, they couldn't. Yeah, they took your stop out in Asia. The guy that can get in reversals, and here's their first top, become a bottom, leaving the station. To me, this is manual trading in the sense that we're really looking at, like, okay, we're planning out each day in advance with limit orders in advance. Here, not market's going sideways here. I think you can imagine I got sell limits here and buy limits here. I don't give a fuck which leg fills. I just don't. I guess I'm hoping this isn't an uptrend, I am hoping they come down and get these guys in, you know. But I still got to do this dumb shit scalp trade where I buy new lows, scalp to here, and then maybe an engulf, and we actually got an engulf there. But now I'm a seller up here, and I'm hoping it crushes down. And it's okay to hope and pray on that stuff, but having the ticket banks in there waiting to get filled, I don't feel like I'm missing out. I've canceled the fear of missing out because I have exposure to get filled on something that's 5 pips deep and it lasts for 15 minutes. I don't have to be in the market. I can trade on pure limits, although I will get into the market down here. So and you can only imagine what the 4-hour chart looks like here. It's probably the best fucking lowest risk entry. There's low volatility here. The 1-hour charts look amazing. The 2-hour charts, whatever have you. And this week coming in is going to be an adventure, you know, and so all these kind of setups, you know. The setup is here right now. And when you trade on limits like I just did here, the setup's always there. There's always a supply buy down here. There's always going to be buyers here. There's always going to be sellers above. You got to keep reminding yourself, buy low, sell high. If you get lost and you start to dream about this beautiful indicator that you built that will be able to endure back testing of a million years of data, and like it's tried and true and it's like so robust. There's nothing more robust than crudeness, indirectness. Why do you think Trump was able to fucking, as crude and as direct as he is and blunt and you fill in the blank? You gotta have some balls to do shit, dude. You can't be a soy fuckhead your whole life, right? But this is what we have. We have an atrophied, high-tech, piggish society, and I hate to say that it deserves a spanking, but it's getting one now, isn't it? But the beauty of capitalism, like I said, the black market's what's going to support this insurrection from a regime of socialism is going to be the good old common sense of the average citizen able to fucking wipe their own fucking ass without a fucking corona certification. I mean, the scariest things is all the fucking morons in people that are taking this vaccine. Are they fucking retarded? They believe so much in this. They trust in the state so much. Dude, I haven't trusted shit since I was 5 years old. My parents lied to me about the world, you know. Oh, it's going to be fine. No. Everybody lies to you. They don't want to freak you out. It's just, you just got to trust at some point, and it's tough because you're up against, there's no friend, there's no family going to bail you out. There's not going to agree with you, man. All the people, and Bill Gates is a putz fuck. And you know, I'm sure that he was like, people tell you, you're a fucking idiot, you're thinking, you know, he's just a guy that somebody was going to pick up the idea of writing code and matching hardware to software. That was going to happen. Our luck of the draw is we got this piece of shit wrote Windows. Oh, well, you can say he's some bitch. He's so. Now, my parents would argue that, oh, he's no idiot. Look how much money he made. Dude, you don't have to have half a fucking brain to make $1 million. I'm so sorry. Like, there are people that have found themselves in positions of money and power that's just mind-blowing. And there are people that are so talented, they could take a Swiss watch apart with their eyes closed and make it run. And they're only making like $50 an hour. This is the argument that the teachers aren't going to be paid enough. Dude, you're working for the government. Shut the fuck up. That's a government job. Why don't you your private tutor at $1,000 an hour if what you're saying is so fucking important? I'm okay. I'm just going to turn it angry right now. The skill level does not connect to how much money you make. Only in trading does that even happen. If you're talented, but if you don't believe it's possible, your belief system, so if you don't believe you can make a lot of money trading or living, then you will keep your belief systems in check, and you will go along with the mask wearers and the vaccine takers and all that shit. I don't know anybody in my group of fucknut rebels that's taken the vaccine. You got to be kidding me. I love Trump to death, but you fucking whipped this shit up in how long? And if it's so great, why? It's like if your trading system, so why do you have 5 vaccines floating around there? We're all a fucking guinea pig for this shit? What do we got, 6 months before we hear the, if you took Moderna during the coronavirus, call 1-800 Zalman, Mellon, and Schiffman's, Schwartzberg and fucknuts, you know, what? Is that where we're going? God damn it, man. I'm so pissed off. Anyways, I'm so over it. But I love it in a way. I love having this. I guess when the when the Bushes took over for the Clintons, they said, now the adults are running the show. Now we're back to the kids running the show. I don't have any kids, but if I did, okay, Johnny, here, go play with matches. I got my argon fire extinguisher, my chemical fire extinguisher. I'm ready to put you out, but go play with matches, Johnny. Or if I had a kid, he wants to smoke crack, or he wants to smoke a cigarette. Come on, Johnny. Let's smoke some cigarettes together. Let me see you smoke a pack in like an hour. I can cure Johnny from wanting to smoke cigarettes. Or he'll be like, it's socialism. You just didn't do it right. You're smoking too many cigarettes per hour. You kind of have to. The fact that you're going to protect people from shit, you're not helping them, dude. You're making them more and more fragile. Lick a doorknob. Lick a toilet seat. Fucking build up your immune system, dude. It's free. It's fucking free. I kind of want to go into the store, pull off my mask, and lick the fucking register, the keypad. They'd probably call the police on me, dude. That'd be like assault with a deadly tongue. I can't fucking believe the world I'm living in here, dude. You can't avoid it in a way. Although when I show up with my bandmates, they ain't wearing a fucking mask. I saw some band, pretty good band, with all wearing masks on stage. I'm like, there's something psychologically disturbing to the core of my being to wear a mask. And my dad actually said to me, what, are you too vain? I go, dude, I'm ugly. I'm ugly as a box of rocks. Okay, I don't give a fuck. I can't breathe, motherfucker. I've got nose hairs protecting me from corona. And they're grown down to fucking Rasputin level. They look like fucking Twitter Dick's beard. My nose hairs. Twitter Dick, this fucking penis. He shaved his head so he could insert it up his own ass now. This fucking woke piece of shit. And it's going to tumble. I can make the fundamental argument that the Nasdaq's about to crack like a... It's all going to fall down, man. People got to go... this is going to be a beautiful moment. And this is... I'm glad Trump didn't win because all we'd hear about is impeachment, because the insurrection would go on and on. They would impeach him. Even the Republicans would impeach him because they're all pussy fucks too, to the core of their being. We got a fucknut here he's worth $10 million. How in the fuck is a guy that gets paid $100,000 a year worth $10 million? Oh, just smart investing. Really? Cut it out. So, the revenge of the nerds is Bitcoin, I suppose. There's a kid out there that probably is I know people actually. I know their kids they told me their kids are still in the Bitcoin, and I'm like, at some point, those are unrealized profits. You gotta get the fuck out. Don't cry to me when it goes to 10 grand. You bought it 20. You wrote it to 50. You don't think that's coming in Bitcoin? Now, maybe it'll go into drift. Maybe I could be completely wrong about what I'm saying. But on this chart here, no, right? We went full retard cycle. The market is where it was at the beginning of this chart. It's like a 10-day playback here. I don't know why there's only 10 days. I think I went back for deeper than this. But anyways. This is... It's an amazing world of facades and makeup, fake lips, fake tits. Commercials that are idealized. Everything. Pretty font. Pastel covers. I mean, we live in the most spoiled world on the planet, dude. I'm just telling you. When I was 10 years old, when I was 7 years old, I was completely aware. I can remember being 7. You look out the window, the sun. I had this little thing. It's like black and white pieces of paper on a spinning. It's like looks like a light bulb, but inside there is these diamond colored. And when the sun hits it, it spins, black and white. And it's actually opposite than you think. The white is actually pushing and the black's absorbing kind of thing. But, it was so simple, dude. You had a book and it had a piano and you could really focus, you could. Now, it's almost like everybody has eye candy, ear candy, brain candy. It's all candy. And since the Fed prints more money than anybody could imagine to lubricate our lifestyle, because the infrastructure is as fragile as you may think they are, like, oh, the grid goes down. Dude, through everything we've been through, you're still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still fortunate enough and spoiled enough to bitch up a storm here on YouTube. Even have a YouTube channel just to complain on. It's amazing. If I died tomorrow, I'd be like, well, this fucking premium lifestyles we all live on the planet. The whole planet's rich. There's no fucking... Where are the starving people in where are the starving people in the United States, in the world? Okay, show me the guy that's real. They got these flies around the head. They show this, donate to this. Where are the starving to death kids? Starving to death at the border. Gotta let them across. Holy shit, dude. Well, Obama was like, everybody's gonna get a cell phone, the Obama phone. We can't disenfranchise people living out the country. We have to get cable TV out to them. What, so they can see your propaganda shit? Fucking A, man. But I'm sure everybody agrees with me. I gotta go. But, dude, I could complain for hours on end. It just shows how spoiled I am, I guess. So it's gonna be okay. What I'm trying to say is everybody's fine. I mean, I know the Corona thing, it pisses me off because the government has created a crisis that never really existed. You didn't have to lock it down. Here's a pro tip. If you're projectile vomiting and you have a fever, stay the fuck home. Don't throw up on the doorknob I'm about to lick, please, okay? How is this? Did something flip a year ago? Did everybody lose their fucking normal routines? I thought this was the routine, as I spoke about the routine. People love routine. Monday morning, I'm going to see Joe at the Water Curl. We're going to talk about the show we saw, how it sucked dick. We're all going to agree. Go out to lunch, get drunk, come back. They used to go out to lunch. That was the thing, the 5-martini lunch. I guess they put a damper on that. Don't trade drunk, though. Let me just say, don't trade drunk. Maybe on mushrooms trade, but pick your poison. But honestly, the anxiety levels, and the people really are getting hit over the head here. It is tough because people that have built this pipeline, guys. This is cruel, but this is government created shit. No citizen in this fucking country or world sets out, other than people that are ripping you off or just killing you because you cheated on their wife, but most people are not fucking evil, and they can get along just fine, dude. They can find their way out of they're not going to hit each other. If the street light dies, they're not going to crash into each other. The government new role is to, and don't forget, so many people work for the government that they vote themselves in. They shouldn't be able to vote, I mean, it's so that is kind of like, you can complain about that and say it's all fucked up, but we seem to find a way around it, How can you explain the stock market at all-time highs when they said, well, this is going to cause a worldwide depression? Is it really? It's going to cause an order imbalance, back orders, but what the beauty of it is that when you burn down a forest, for all the tree huggers that cry about burning a forest, this happens naturally. Mother Nature does this, and you end up with new growth and new species, maybe. I don't know. There used to be this pissing and moaning about, well, we're losing the species so-and-so. Well, maybe it's supposed to die out. I mean, you want to, sell your house and give it up to a bunch of ants? These army ants are starting to get, in a slow species rate. We got to protect the... Some people are all giddy because they're breeding some bald eagles. I'm like, okay. How is that going to pay my rent again? And I know I love Mother Nature too, but sometimes Mother Nature edits itself out. What if there was nobody on the planet? You don't think a volcano is going to wipe out some fucking, dedicated army ants that live on the volcano? Like a whole new kind of woke army ants, Anyways, gotta go. But so, yeah, just a thought, closing thought, things to worry about next week. But anyways, we'll try to do another stream next week. I want to write some NASDAQ market orders so I can be a crackhead scalper, so we can do some scalping next week.